we are group 5. Today, our title you can see is Playing Favorites. We are talking about parents and their children. Okay. These are outline. The first is summary, and next is the extended information, and conclusion, implications of the issue. Final is our Q&A time. Okay. Before I start my presentation, I got some questions to ask you. If you have siblings, I mean, if you have brothers or sisters, please raise your hand. And the next question is, have you ever feel that your parents be partial to you or your siblings in your life or some general things? If you have, please raise your hand.
Be specific.
我讲错，不好意思。我意思说，你的家长有偏心过，就是你觉得他可能对你的弟弟妹妹、哥哥姐姐比较好，或者对你比较好。如果有的话，我们来举个手，因为我想要看一下数量，看对。It's close to your life. It seems not coming in our class, but actually, parents love their children is undoubted. But parents might love one children more than the other. It's undoubted too. So our leading principle is the society's perspective of favoritism and why favoritism exists. What caused it? Okay. There is a mother who released an article on a website called Able.com. You can see there. And which is a forum about family, life, and relationship. And this mother the article is talking about a mother. She thinks she loves her son more than she loves her daughter. She had 2 children. One is a 3-year-old daughter, and the other is her 20-month-old boy. She thinks her daughter is independent and on her own way. When her daughter wants something, she might rude and unpolite. And her son is a snuggly kid and more intimate to his mother. After this article, there are some different kinds of response. The first is the most typical. She thinks that the mother is horrible. You can see here. I feel horrible to Kate's daughter. Just terrible. Kids really pick up on these things, and that's a root cause for acting out. These people think a mother could not be partial to any child because both of them you take 10 months and born. If you take part of any of them, it's not fair. The second is understand and think she's brave. You can see here, I completely understand, I feel this way. And the most important thing is here. They just weren't brave enough to admit it. Many parents didn't admit that they will be partial to any one child because they weren't brave enough. For example, if I ask my mom, you will hurt her heart, but if I ask my mom, you love my brother more or love me more, she won't admit and won't answer me this question. Okay. Another thought is, you can see its response, but the main idea of this response is talking about that she thinks this mother should fix his thought and remove this article. She thinks if mother be partial to any children, and the mother write this article on the website. Okay, anyone of his child see this article could harm their relationship and broke their family. So she thinks this mother should remove this post forever. A professor at the University of California conducted research about 384 siblings pairs, and she finally concluded that 65% of mothers and 70% of fathers can have the favoritism to one child, often the older one. So we can ask, why favoritism exists? There are 3 points about it. The first is the parents, and the second is gender and circumstances. The final is the natural rule. There is not a parent would admit for favoring a beautiful child over a less beautiful one. But scientists think to people's perspective is important. Whether scientists think a parent's to people's perspective is important, and whether in a family, in a workplace, or in a dating market. And good appearance is almost equal a good and healthy body, and appearance is often the first impression for a person. So you can think this is why we adore a baby and think they are cute. The second is the gender and sex. There are a phenomenon we call cross-gender. It's talking about that a father would adore his daughter, and the mother would love his son more. The research is published in the journal Human Nature. Overall, the most likely candidate for the mother's favorite was the firstborn son, and for the father, usually the last-born daughter. Gender may be a very powerful determining favoritism in 3-child families. In the sequences, you can see here, if the sequence is boy, girl, girl, or girl, boy, boy, the middle one is not unique. And the last is natural rule. There is a family is a very firmly part of human nature, which we call child-rearing behavior. It's from our survival needs. To ensure succeeding the generations, families will tilt in the favor of the biggest, strongest, and healthiest offspring. Those kids will be more reproductively successful and get more of the family's genes to the next generation. So about the subsequent impact and the other examples, please focus on our next event. Thanks.
Hello everyone. According to our first teammate, you may find that parents are playing favorites due to many reasons. And the rule of nature is one of them. Not only humans, but also animals play favorites on their offspring. And it's actually more common in the animal kingdom. So I'm going to introduce 3 different animals to you. But before this, I want to explain a phrase to you. It's called reproductive narcissism. As our last member mentioned, parents want to pass their family genes to the next generations. And that is parents want to produce the best part of themselves and make their offspring as well as them or So let's move on to the first example. Crested penguins. The crest on its head is their feature, and you may have seen it in the animation. A crested mother will kick the smaller egg out of the nest and focus on the strong chick in the bigger shell. And the second example, black eagles. A black eagle mother will do nothing while her bigger chick is tearing the smaller one into pieces. Actually, the second chick is insurance. If the first chick is healthy, then the policy will be cancelled. And the third example is different from the animals I mentioned above. Coots. It's a black and white waterbird, as you can see in the picture. Instead of selecting stronger chicks to take care of, Coots mother will also spread the care to the smaller or weakest chick, and in the hope of maximizing the number of offspring. And there's something interesting about this kind of animals. Since the coots all look alike, there's an unmistakable mark that helps a coot's mother to recognize the youngest chick in so many of her babies. The baby coots have red plumage on its head, and the coot's mothers will give extra food to the reddest head, and so that the youngest chick can be well taken care of as well. And you can see the baby coots in the picture on the right. So what's the meaning of these three examples? The way crested penguins and black eagles may seem cruel, but it's exactly the law of nature. The fittest survives. And remember the phrase I explained before. These two species show strong reproductive narcissism to their offspring. And as for coots, they take care of the weakest child equally and favor them. And this kind of behavior can also be seen on the human parents when one of their children is vulnerable. And although we think human ourselves is high-level species, but we still have something in common with animals. And from these three examples, you can see the connection between humans and animals' child-rearing behavior. And our next teammate will tell you more. Thank you.
Hello everyone. Preference by nature, handicap or serious disease caused by S, traditional concept and genders, other reasons. Handicap or serious disease caused by S. Parents always prefer the child who is handicapped or has serious disease. For example, there is a book entitled My Sister's Keeper. The outline of the story is that a family includes 3 children, 2 daughters and 1 son. One of the doctors suffered cancer for years. Therefore, their parents thought an idea trying to save her. They used modern technology to fertilize in vitro and gave birth to another daughter, Anna. She was born for her sister, obligated to donate her blood, umbilical cord, and bone marrow. When Anna was 13 years old, she hired a lawyer to fight for the right of her body. In this story, we see that parents pay more attention on the child who has serious disease and ignore the other healthy children. Traditional concepts and genders. In Chinese society, people prefer boys over girls. In general, people think this may because the workforce needed in agriculture society. In addition, males usually play leading roles in wars. Leaders of the country are also males mostly. Naturally, males become leading force. Other reasons. Parents show preference toward children that own similar traits. Parents also favor kids that are more obedient and considerate too, because they would have to spend less time telling children what to do. Statistic 1. Do you think your parents have bias? Poster online survey. Investigate whether parents would favor specific children by online survey. 64% respondents think parents would favor, and only a few 20% doubt the affirmation of partiality. This may be a result due to different aspects of view. Generally, kids being ignored may be more sensitive of parents' favoring, while oneself being parents may not aware of the partial behavior of themselves. This survey shows the idea of partiality by different genders. The number of female think parents are partial to males more. However, males think parents are not partial to females more, which shows females are more often to be ignored. Statistic 3. Which order of born that parents bias on? This survey indicates that more people think that the youngest child, while a few consider that the elders are being more favored. Maybe this is because the youngest child needs more parents' care, so they get more attention from parents. Other child in family may think the elders are favored because parents may show more trust on the elders' child. Influence of preference. Preference of children influence them a lot. Children being favored have advantage of boost self-esteem and confidence. However, they are arrogant. The unfavored child may do better at making relationships outside the family. However, they may have low self-esteem and wondering if they are unworthy of their parents' love. In summary, no matter being favored or unfavored, the effect on children may cause them to have shift of characteristic and attitude. Thank you.
Okay, I'm the last person. I want to make some conclusion. I think most of you can. I think most of you can learn more about the topic of favorism after the explanation we made. To enhance your conversation, I want to remind you of some details in our presentation. Maybe though the cause of favorism is complex, and we can't define all circumstances, but here are 5 factors that we sort that may cause favorism. They can cause parents' preference among siblings. First, appearance. I think most of us can agree that we have a heart of pursuing beauty. Needless to say, all parents have the same emotion. Second, sexes. According to psychology, it is a common phenomenon that fathers cherish daughters more than sons, just as mothers do for sons. We call that phenomenon is cross-gender phenomenon. Third, order of born. According to as a statistic, many parents make a preference on the first child or the last one. 4, personal achievement. Because of parents always want to replicate their own successful experience on offspring, which children have more natural intelligence, create splendid career, can attract parents' attention. 5th, rules of nature. In a book called A Principle of Biology, Darwin wrote up a perspective called survival of the fittest. We can learn from that creature will follow advantage genes to maintain competitive. No matter why, parents keep focus on an exceptional child among siblings. Okay, let me supply some implication of the issue. In families, among parents make a preference on specific child seems to be acceptable. As a funny and general saying, we have our heart on the left side rather than in the middle of side. So how can we not to bias? Second, I want to take 2 examples. I want to talk about sayings of 2 Asian great men in China, Meishan's and Mozi. Quoted to Meishan's expressions, he once said, if we do not take emperor and father in our mind, we live like beasts. His expression is agent to Mozi's opinion. Mozi said, we should love and treat everyone in equal, and this make world warless. In this discussion, emperor and fathers that Meishan said are symbols. In fact, its actual meaning implies the love we pay out is divided in rank. I think most of us can agree we do not care strangers more than our families, right? It is hard to love everyone equally, so no matter why favorism exists. The third, keep moving on our talking points. Because of humanity, bias is not only appears in family, it also happens in other fields. I take sports for example. Have you ever seen teachers have double standards? One of my friends ever complained she finds her teachers have a serious preference. her teacher's preference is obvious. For example, during the class, her teacher always turned blind to the big voice gossip of students whose grades are superior and don't have enough patience to care other students whose grades are so much great. I know it is not all teachers behave like that, and many schools no longer screen students by ability with registration change, but the bias in class seems to be so low. However, there are something different if we change our stance. We always ask teachers not to classify students, but on the contrary, as students, we estimate teachers by the content or the way he teaches. For example, this teacher doesn't make roll call, it is good. This teacher's lecture is so boring that let me sleepy, it is bad. It is right as double standards between teachers and students. And I think it is a good question worthy of thinking. Okay, my presentation is it. Thank you. Next, we have 10 questions to ask you. 1. It is true that parents actually have preference. 2. What is cross-gender phenomenon? Please give me an example. 3. What is the phrase that means to reproduce the best part of themselves and make their offspring as well as them or even better? 4. In 3 animal examples, select one species and tell us about their behavior of child rearing. 5. Tell us one of the advantage or disadvantage of the favored child or the unfavored one. 6. Do you think your parents have a preference or your siblings? Why? 7. If you become mother or father one day, will you favor a specific child? 8. According to the conclusion, please answer 3 factors that cause bias. 9. Does Mosey support that love is divided in rank? 10. If you were a teacher, how would you treat your students? Okay. Any volunteers? Yes? Number 4.
I want to talk about black people.
Black
Black
people.
people will make their children to the shop, and they want so and he can be brought up by his parents.
So as to eliminate the weakest one. To get rid of the weakest one.
Yes.
Okay, very good. Anyone? Yes? Number 6. Are you trying to say that? So you think your